If I can please have a motion on CC1.
So moved. My brain cells, Abby. Second.
Moved by Dr. Osgood and second by Ms. Good. So CC1. Is there any board input on CC1? Sure.
Good morning, Madam Chair, school board members, Superintendent Runcie. I'm the transition supervisor for students with disabilities, helping them transition into work, post-secondary education, and so forth. One of my duties is to create jobs for them, and in the past 3 years, my team, along with the Tech Center programs, have been able to place into paid employment over 1,000 students with disabilities, and so far this year, at the end of, or the beginning of February, another 355 students in paid employment. Very few of these students have a diploma. They're all working in hundreds of businesses, local businesses in this community, and also training in our community-based programs in those workplaces. I'm going to give you a little history on job descriptions and the Broward School's role in hiring folks. 14 years ago when I came to this county, I came out of Dade County as a classroom teacher and was the career lab coordinator at Sunset School. The interagency council at that time was Project Connect, and out of that committee, I was part of that committee, there were identified some 20, first of all, it was brought to the attention of the committee that although the school system awarded a special diploma to students, it did not honor that diploma in the jobs descriptions, and in effect was a barrier to our students getting jobs, which we thought was, well, it was an epiphany for us. Out of that realization came the Hiring Practices Initiative, which sought to release some of those job descriptions from the requirement of a regular diploma. As we went along, a couple of years after that, Mrs. Bartleman initiated the WOW partnership, Work Opportunities from Within, which sought to ask any vendor that spent or that made money from our district or did business with our district would hire our students. And in fact, we started that program and hired a few students through Sunshine Cleaning and a couple of other organizations to start hiring our students. When the budgets kind of fell apart and we surplused a lot of folks, that program also fell apart. And now we're back trying to help our students get school board jobs. And you know, there's a lot of discussion now about diploma options and a pathway to regular diploma for some of our moderate to severe disabled students. And what I would kind of propose here is a pathway to employment in this school district. Amanda Bailey, along with the superintendent, has been working with my group, my team, to start to train in KCW. We have students working in this building. In some of the administrative buildings, we are also training. And in fact, there's a position offered to one of our students in benefits. So before Amanda Bailey left, she was on the team and proposed that we start to look at these job descriptions and try to be more inclusive. And not only would we train our students through some of these programs, but we would also hire them and remove some of those barriers. And I would submit that removing a barrier like a regular diploma from a job description does not preclude people with advanced degrees from applying for jobs, as I hire job coaches with some requirements of only a couple of hours of community college or high school diploma. I receive resumes with people with bachelor's degrees, master's, and even PhDs. So it would be a more inclusive practice for our students to come into these positions. One of the things that I think is really important that you'll see when you do community-based instruction or when we put our students in the right environment is students rising to the occasion. There's a lot of talk about disabilities, but our students really have abilities, unique abilities, that that fit in well in the workplace. And I'm going to give you an example of that that's repeated all across this county every day. And I just heard it again from Memorial Hospital, Regional Hospital, who in a CBI program are looking to hire some of our students because of the unique skills they bring. In the classroom, an autistic student may be a deficit of theirs, maybe their focus. Maybe they focus too much on something. But in the workplace, sometimes those deficits in a classroom become assets in the community. And I've seen that repeated over and over. We have a student working in Memorial Hospital Project Search in Miramar, an autistic student who was getting ready to age out a few years ago. He was rotating through those departments, ended up in surgical sterilization, arranging trays for surgery. When the surgeons found out he was aging out around this time, they said, not so fast. They had recognized his work, his accuracy, and his work arranging those trays, and they put together some FTE, and that student, as an adult, is now working in Memorial Hospital Miramar, arranging surgical trays based on his ability to focus and to create quality work. We've seen that across the board. We've heard a lot about longevity. The longevity of this barrier, quite frankly, is frustrating. I've been around it for 14 years. As we have hundreds of businesses around us putting our students to work, embracing our students and raving about our students and asking for more, I hope that this is a step in the right direction as far as our school board recognizing that our students bring a lot to the workplace and, in fact, can do the jobs that we're asking them to do. So I ask for your consideration on that. Thank you.
Thank you. If we can also move CC2 with this item so that we have a same, thank you. So we have CC1 and CC2 both on the floor. Yes, Ms. Bartleman.
I just wanted to really thank Lou Ruccolo because he's really a leader in this county and well respected throughout the community for continuing to push for this program. We did have it up and running right before we had to do the surplus. And Israel's shaking his head because we were even going to put a restaurant totally run by students. But then when we had all the budget cuts, we couldn't do it. And the thing is we go around this community. We have job coaches and teachers and Lou asking people, employers, to hire our students. But we can't just talk the talk. We have to walk the walk. And this agenda item is really moving us in this direction. It's a huge barrier. We talk about all the time how special diplomas are just a piece of paper and block those students. So now we, thanks to Mr. Runcie and Amanda and everyone working on it, and it goes back to Vicki Kaufman who left us, we're finally starting to move in the right direction. We had it all set up, and then when we surplused everyone, we had to hire them back, the surplus list. So we weren't able to hire any new students for many years until they ran off the surplus list. So I'm so excited about this opportunity. I want to welcome Stacy to the team. She's one of our best teachers at Bright Horizons, set up many programs. And this is just really a great step. And now when we talk to employers, we're not going to bring them to Memorial to see the kids working there. We're going to be able to bring them into KCW and say, look what our students are doing, so we can really be a leader in the county. And Mr. Runcie, thank you so much for your strong commitment to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bartleman. Any other board input? Audience input on CC1 and CC2? Okay, thank you. All those in favor of CC1 and CC2, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, CC1 and CC2 passes.